And still on the same, lawyers under the Law Society of Kenya have today held protest marches around the country over the killing of Willie Kimani, his client, and a taxi driver. The killings have drawn countrywide outrage, especially from civil society groups that staged demonstrations on Monday. Lawyers who have been boycotting court attendance since Monday beg your pardon. Let's now cross over back to the Milimani Law Courts, where our reporter Michelle Ngele now joins us to tell us more about the demos. Thank you very much for joining us, Michelle. Good afternoon. Are the demos as intense as what we witnessed on Monday?
Well, Akisa, we have well over 1,000 lawyers at these particular demos here. We've just left the Milimani Law Courts just a few minutes after the court case came to an end, and we are now headed to Jogoo House, which houses the Office of Inspector General of Police, Joseph Boynet. But the route that we will be using here today, we will be going through Ngong Road before we connect to Uhuru Highway, after which the lawyers will be heading to Jogoo House, and there they will be presenting a petition for the resignation of Inspector General of Police Joseph Boynet for what they say is failure to protect Kenyans. These lawyers say that in the past few years, instances of human rights abuses in the hands of Kenyan police have been rising, including extrajudicial killings, torture, and detention. And so this is just some of the pictures of the protests here today. Banners written, "Stop extrajudicial killings." We do have a few lawyers at the back also wearing t-shirts written the same. Also here today are the families of the three human rights advocates, Willie Kimani, his client Josephat Mwenda, and taxi driver Joseph Mururi. All of them have their families here today in solidarity with the lawyers as they seek for justice. Remember, Akisa, we did have statistics earlier this week from the Independent Medical Legal Unit that more Kenyans die in the hands of police than they do in the hands of robbers. And so this is a cause for concern, and lawyers are out here today not only for their colleague, the late Willie Kimani, but for the rights of all Kenyans alike. Akisa.
Now, Michelle, you've mentioned that the families of those that were killed are also present. I don't know whether you've gotten a chance to speak to them. We just want to get some insights on what they really think about these demonstrations are currently ongoing for their loved ones.
Well, Akisa, of course, the wound is still rather raw. Willie Kimani and the two others, his client and taxi driver, their bodies were found just a few days ago, so it's still very fresh for the families here today. But they say that they have come out here in solidarity with these lawyers in the bid to get justice. Just yesterday, Akisa, the fourth policeman was taken into custody in relation to this very same case, bringing to 4 the total number of police officers accused of abducting and killing the human rights lawyer. But the families here say that they want justice in the eyes of the public because this crime has allegedly been committed by the police, and so they want to join the lawyers here today to ensure that Kenyans see their cry for justice. But then again, remember, there have been serious strides that have been made now because of the FBI detectives in Kenya have also joined the race for these detectives, to investigate the killings of the detectives here. And let's just speak to one of the lawyers who is part of these protests here today. Thank you very much for joining us. So when, this is one of more of the protests, you've had more. Yes. When will you stop the protest, and what's the aim of this protest today?
We are not going to stop. We are not going to flag in our efforts until we have reformed the segments of our society, including the National Police Service, that are opposing the reforms that have been ordered by the new constitution. We will not stop until we get justice for lawyer Willie Kimani and his 2 companions who were killed. We will not stop until the culture of extrajudicial killings is over. We are beginning a long journey. This is just the first step. We will keep engaging in various forums. We have said as lawyers, we are saying on behalf of Kenyans, enough is enough. We are no longer in the dark days of torture, of disappearances. We must bring it to an end. All lawyers take an oath when they become advocates of the High Court to uphold the rule of law and the administration of justice without fear or favor. What we are saying today is that we will not be cowed, we will not falter, we will not be stopped in our efforts to reform root, trunk, and branch the entire police service and anyone else who is interested in taking us back to those dark days.
And have these demos bore any fruit yet since you began?
The demos have borne a lot of fruit. When we began with our press statement, which was we addressed the media on Wednesday last week, we did not know what had happened to our colleague Willie and his two companions. They were going to be treated as just one more disappearance. Thanks to the pressure we raised, we know that several things have happened. Investigations have been commenced at very high levels of the police force. Unfortunately, the bodies were recovered. They have been subjected to the most rigorous examination, post-mortem examination. Evidence is being collected against the victims. Law Society of Kenya has also commenced a court case seeking orders in the nature of habeas corpus. Those proceedings are assisting us in aiding the investigators with collection of evidence. We are proceeding with several events and they are already bearing fruit, but we are saying it's not yet enough. We've also received communication from senior levels of the National Police Service saying they want to engage us to ensure that we can work together towards long-lasting reforms that will be for the benefit of all Kenyans and that will turn the police service genuinely into what their motto proclaims, utumishi kwa wote, which means service to all.
All right, and like I mentioned, Akisa, we have well over 1,000 lawyers at these demos here today pressing for justice and seeking the prosecution of the 4 police officers who are accused of abducting and killing Willie Kimani, his client Josephat Mwenda, and taxi driver Joseph Mwiruri. Back to you, Akisa.
All right, thank you very much, Michelle, for that. Michelle there also speaking to lawyer Charles Kanjama, of course, on the protests that are currently ongoing. Of course, taking a look or trying to push for justice for the murder of one of the members of the council, and that is Willie Kimani, his client, and the taxi driver. And here's where we'll definitely be keeping you up to date with the latest information on the same.